Alright, so today we're diving deep into the world of the gastrointestinal tract and its incredible secretions and hormones. These substances are essential for digestion, absorption, and regulation of various processes in our gastrointestinal system. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid grasp of the different secretions, their roles, and how they're controlled. As always, if you want to master more complex topics like this, be sure to check out King of the Curve for top-notch learning resources. Let's start with the stomach, where a variety of secretions are produced to aid in digestion. First up is gastric acid, also known as hydrochloric acid. This is produced by the gastric parietal cells, and it serves multiple purposes, lowering the stomach's pH, activating pepsinogen into pepsin, and killing off most microorganisms, except the stubborn Helicobacter pylori. Gastric acid production is stimulated by the vagus nerve, gastrin, and histamine, but it's inhibited by a range of factors like gastric inhibitory, polypeptide, prostaglandins, secretin, somatostatin, and cholecystokinin. Next, the parietal cells also produce intrinsic factor, which is crucial for binding vitamin B12 and enabling its absorption in the terminal ileum. Think of it as a VIP pass for vitamin B12 absorption. The same factors that stimulate gastric acid also stimulate intrinsic factor production. Then there's pepsin, which is converted from its inactive form, pepsinogen, produced by gastric chief cells. Pepsin is our stomach's protein digesting powerhouse. It's activated in an acidic environment and gets inhibited when the gastric pH rises or by somatostatin. Lastly, the mucosal cells of the salivary glands, stomach, pancreas, and duodenum, along with the Brunner glands of the duodenum, secrete bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is like the stomach's firefighter, neutralizing excess acid and preventing damage to the stomach lining. It's mainly stimulated by secretin. Now, let's explore the hormones that regulate stomach functions. Gastrin is produced by G cells found in the antrum of the stomach and the duodenum. It ramps up gastric acid secretion, enhances gastric motility, and promotes the proliferation of gastric mucosa. Gastrin release is stimulated by the vagus nerve, amino acids, peptides, decreased acidity, and stomach distension. However, when the stomach pH drops below 1.5, or when somatostatin is present, gastrin secretion is inhibited. Next is ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Produced by P/D1 cells in the stomach, ghrelin increases appetite, stimulates neuropeptide Y release in the brain, and even promotes growth hormone release. Ghrelin levels rise during fasting and sleep deprivation, but decrease once you've had a meal. Histamine, released by enterochromaffin-like cells in the stomach, acts as a powerful stimulator of gastric acid secretion. Its release is triggered by gastrin, but inhibited by somatostatin. Moving into the small intestine, we have a range of essential hormones. Cholecystokinin, or CCK, is produced by EA cells in the duodenum and jejunum. It stimulates the gallbladder to contract, promotes pancreatic enzyme secretion, relaxes the sphincter of Oddi, and slows gastric emptying. CCK is triggered by the presence of fatty acids and amino acids entering the small intestine after a meal, but is inhibited by somatostatin and during fasting. Somatostatin, released by D cells in the duodenum and pancreas, is like the master inhibitor of the GY tract. It decreases secretions across the board: gastric acid, gastrin, pepsinogen, CCK, secretin, and more. It even inhibits gallbladder contraction and reduces stomach and intestinal motility. Postprandial gastric acid, fatty acids, and amino acids entering the duodenum trigger somatostatin, while the vagus nerve can stimulate its release. Secretin, produced by S cells in the duodenum, has a critical role in regulating the pH. It stimulates bile secretion, promotes bicarbonate secretion from the pancreas, and reduces gastric acid secretion, all in response to increased gastric acid and fatty acids in the duodenum. Gastric inhibitory polypeptide, or GIP, produced by K cells in the duodenum and jejunum, mainly enhances insulin secretion and mildly reduces gastric acid secretion. It's stimulated by fatty acids, glucose, and amino acids entering the small intestine after a meal. Motilin is secreted by MO cells in the small intestine and is responsible for producing migratory motor complexes that increase intestinal motility during fasting. Interestingly, its release stops once food is ingested. Vasoactive intestinal peptide, or VIP, is released by the small intestine, gallbladder, parasympathetic neurons, and APUD cells of the pancreas. It stimulates the secretion of water and electrolytes and relaxes intestinal sphincters and smooth muscle. It's activated by stomach distension and vagal stimulation, but sympathetic activity inhibits it. Finally, there's nitric oxide, which is produced by epithelial, smooth muscle, and neural cells. Nitric oxide plays a crucial role in relaxing smooth muscles and sphincters, such as the lower esophageal sphincter. It also improves circulation thanks to its vasodilatory properties. Alright, as a quick recap, the gastrointestinal tract relies on a series of hormones and secretions to manage digestion, absorption, and motility. Gastric secretions like hydrochloric acid, intrinsic factor, pepsin, and bicarbonate have specific roles in the stomach, while regulatory hormones like gastrin, ghrelin, and histamine modulate stomach activity. The small intestine releases a variety of hormones such as CCK, secretin, GIP, and motilin, each with unique functions. And remember, somatostatin acts as the universal off switch, inhibiting many digestive processes. Understanding these hormones and secretions is essential for appreciating how our GI system maintains its function and balance. And that's your comprehensive guide to the hormones and secretions of the gastrointestinal tract. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to check out King of the Curve for even more in-depth explanations on topics like this. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.